of you to our 15-minute weekly motivational call. Thank you for joining me here this morning. Happy Friday. It is great to be with you here this morning on this beautiful Friday morning. And today is just like any other day. It's whatever you create it to be. And today is a great day. We're going to get started here in about 30 seconds. I want to acknowledge you for joining me here this morning. Type into the chat. Let me know what part of the world are you joining me from. If you're here live, type in hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, type into the chat hashtag replay. We've got an audience here on YouTube, streaming live on YouTube, streaming live on LinkedIn, streaming live on Facebook. We're also here on Zoom. And we're going to get started here in about 30 seconds. Thank you for joining me here this morning. And the purpose of today's call is to help you have a great, successful, productive Friday. So thank you so much for joining me here today. And we're going to get started here. And there we go. It's time to get started. So let me hit the record button on Zoom.
Recording in progress.
Good morning, everybody. This is Eric Lofholm. I want to welcome all of you to our 15-minute daily, weekly motivational call. Thank you for joining me here this morning on this beautiful Friday morning. If you're right-handed, take your right hand. If you're left-handed, take your left hand. Pat yourself on the back. Tell yourself, great job for being here this morning. Type into the chat. Today is a great day. Today is a great day. And I want to share with you some positivity and some motivation. You know, there's a lot that's happening in the world right now. There's a lot of unrest in the world. And there's plenty of places that you can find that information. That's not what we're here to talk about today. What I want to do is just share some words of encouragement. Share some words of encouragement to help you have a successful day. And one of the ways that I look at each day is I focus on the present moment and I focus on today. Life is a series of continuous present moments. There's a moment, there's a moment, there's a moment. The future is imaginary. The future doesn't exist because when tomorrow gets here, it'll be today and it'll be in this exact moment. So part of my mindset for staying positive is to say, okay, let me focus on today, which is Friday. I want to take today through the finish line. So my finish line today, let me take a look at my schedule. So my finish line today is 4:30. So right now it's 7:47 in the morning. And all I need to do is just maintain a positive attitude, put forth good or great effort until 4:30 today, as far as my workday is concerned. So I want to encourage you to take today through the finish line. I want to encourage you today to focus on having a great attitude. And if life shows up, which life does show up, it's challenging sometimes, it's water off a duck as best you can. It's water off a duck. When life shows up for me and I'm having challenges, I don't look at it and say, God's picking on me. I don't think of it like that. It's like, oh, life is just showing up. And I was talking to my son the other day, and he misplaced his car keys. And that's a real bummer. You know, if you've ever done that, it's not anything that we want to have happen. And I was like, son, life showed up. And the car keys will turn up or they won't. It doesn't need to wreck your day. It doesn't need to wreck your week. It's just on this particular day, you misplaced your car keys. Worst case scenario, you got to buy a new car key. But that's a great metaphor for life. You know, it could be the car keys one day, it's this other situation another day. And we get to decide, what are we going to make that mean? So I want to share a couple of ideas with you from some of my recent coaching calls. And I love that I get to spend one-on-one time with people just about every day. I've got anywhere from 2 to 5 one-on-one coaching calls with somebody just like you. Some of you are coaching clients of mine. And so we get together on the phone and we just talk. We get it together on Zoom. So I'm on Zoom with this gentleman this week, and he says to me, he says, Eric, what I do is I get a couple of deals in the pipeline, and then I take my foot off the gas. I get a couple of deals in my pipeline. I lose my motivation. I take my foot off the gas. Or I had another call this week with somebody, and they said, I want to lose 15 pounds, like weight loss. I want to lose 15 pounds, but I'm not taking any action. Eric, can you give me some coaching? I want to lose 15 pounds, but I'm not taking any action. Or I had another client who recently said, Eric, I'm not making the money that I know I need to make, and I'm working on deserving to make more money. I'm having an issue with my own self-worth, my self-esteem of deserving that I need to make more money, or I want to make more money. So these are the kind of things that I work with clients on. And there are real answers to these 3 different issues. Maybe you are losing motivation when your pipeline's full, or maybe you're wanting to get yourself to take action. In this case, the client wants to lose weight, but he's not taking action. Or maybe you're feeling you're having a deserving issue. And so I want to walk you through how I help these clients. The gentleman that said, Eric, I get a couple deals in the pipeline and take my foot off the gas. I explained to him that it's all happening in your mind. So the solution to I get a couple deals in the pipeline and I take my foot off the gas, it's a shift in thinking if you don't want to take your foot off the gas. It's not a skill set thing. It's not a time management thing. It's not a book you need to read. It's a shift in thinking. The client who said he wants to lose 15 pounds, but he's not taking action. It's not that he needs a diet. I mean, you just go on YouTube. Type in YouTube right now, how to lose 15 pounds. It'll tell you exactly what to do. So it's not a diet. It's not a fitness program. It's a shift in your thinking. The client who wants to make more money and is dealing with an issue around deserving, to me, the solution is a shift in thinking. So let's talk about it. I get a couple deals in the pipeline, and then I take my foot off the gas. If that's your thought, if you're this person, you get a couple deals in the pipeline, and your thought is, I take my foot off the gas, then what are you going to do? You're going to get a couple deals in the pipeline, and then you're going to take your foot off the gas, because that's the thought. You're using your genius mind to create something that you don't want. So in other words, as long as he keeps thinking, if I every time put a couple deals in the pipeline, I take my foot off the gas, that's going to be the behavior. The gentleman who says, I want to lose 15 pounds, but I'm not taking any action. As long as that's how he's using his genius mind, if the thought is, I want to produce blank, but I'm not doing it, then what is he going to do? Nothing. The person who's working on their deserving before they make money, as long as they're working on their deserving, then they're probably going to struggle making money. Or they could just stop working on deserving and just come over here and focus on making money and make money. Making money, from my view, it's not about deserving or not. It's about where you put your focus. So I could have somebody who says, Eric, I can't get myself to prospect. I do these Zoom calls sometimes where we all get together on Zoom and we prospect. So we got, let's say, 20 people on Zoom. And I say, okay, guys, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do some prospecting. I do a little training. And I say, all right, I'm going to turn off my camera and my audio and my video for 10 minutes. And what you 20 people are going to do is you're going to prospect for the next 10 minutes with the goal of reaching out to 7 people. Okay, everybody clear? We're going to play a game called Reach Out to 7 People in the next 10 minutes. Go. And you know what most everyone does? They start reaching out to people. And they may not reach 7. Some might do more than 7. Some might do 7. And some might do 2 or 3. But here's what doesn't happen. People don't come back and go, I'm stuck. People don't come back and tell me they're afraid. They just do it. I do this in my book in a day class. Next one, you can put this in your notes, is November 3rd. Excuse me. Next book in a day class is November 3rd. If you want to do that class with me, the website is www.ericlofholmcalendar.com. I got all kinds of free stuff coming up on that website. You can register for November 3rd if you want to do my book in a day class. Eric Lofholm Calendar, my full name, calendar.com. So what do we do in that class? I tell everybody, all right, make a list of your chapter titles. Okay, pick one. So everybody picks a chapter title. And I say, you have 30 minutes to go write. Now go do that. So everybody goes and they write, most of them. People don't come back and go, I had writer's block. Why? Because I'm focusing their mind. We're not doing writer's block. You're writing. We're not doing I can't get myself to do the calls. You're doing the calls. See, however you use your mind, that's what's driving the bus. The formula that I learned from Steve Hardison, who is the top expert in the world that I've ever found on how the mind works. And so I'm sitting in Steve's office and he says, how do results get created? And we're having this discussion, and it's more of him teaching me versus a discussion. So he's teaching me that, Eric, you want a result. You want to lose 15 pounds. You want to make more money. You want to keep your motivation up. So you want a result. So the question, Eric, this is what he was teaching me on, is what is upstream from results? In other words, what causes a result? What causes somebody to lose 15 pounds? And the answer is action. Action is upstream from result. Okay, so then the question is, what's upstream from action? And the answer is thought or language. So it's the thinking in your mind that's driving the action, that's driving the results. So as long as I say, I want to lose 15 pounds, but I'm not taking any action, I'm not going to take any action. Because that's upstream from action is thought or language. And then what's upstream from thought or language is being, as in state of being. So who am I being? And you can observe your being. You can be consistent. You can be inconsistent. You can be loving. You can be angry. You can be productive. You can be procrastination. You can be, I can't get myself to do it. You can be, I can get myself to do it. So we come from this place, this state of being, which then we have thoughts, which then create action, then creates results. So my client who says, well, he's about to become a client. He hasn't hired me yet, but I get a couple deals in the pipeline, and then I take my foot off the gas. All he has to do is say, I get a couple deals in the pipeline, and then I keep my foot on the gas until I'm a millionaire. And then be that. Show up as that person who keeps his foot on the gas until he becomes a millionaire. That one thought, because that thought's going to drive the action, which is going to drive the results. That one thought shifts everything for him. You can predict your future by observing your thoughts. So if you say, I'm not good with money, predict the future of a human being who lives in the thought, I'm not good with money. Where are they going to be financially in their 70s? Probably broke because of a thought. So I'm not good with money becomes I am good with money. You just pull out the word not, and then you just be that. So the gentleman who wants to lose 15 pounds, it's so simple. It comes down to, what does a human being eat that loses 15 pounds? I said, who does the grocery shopping in your family? And he said, my wife does. Okay, cool. So what I want you to do is I want you to do some grocery shopping, and I want you to get the food in your house of a human being that loses 15 pounds. And I want you to go give your wife a heads up, because for the last 30 years, your wife's been doing the grocery shopping. So you tell her, hey, honey, just so you don't need to be alarmed, I'm going to go buy some food. My coach told me to go to the grocery store and get food in the house that would be in alignment with me losing this weight. And all he has to do is decide in his mind, I take action to lose 15 pounds. I eat the things that somebody would eat that loses 15 pounds. And then he needs some support on what is the thought process when he doesn't follow through, when he eats the ice cream at 10 o'clock at night. What most people do is shame or guilt. I'm an idiot. I'm a loser. I'm supposed to lose the 15 pounds, and now I'm eating the ice cream. You want to give yourself some grace. I am my number one cheerleader as a state of being. It's a position that I come from. A lot of people come from, I am my harshest critic. So if you're being your harshest critic, your language is going to be that. You're going to beat yourself up. The action is going to be, when you eat the ice cream at 10 o'clock at night, you're going to beat yourself up. I don't do that. I don't beat myself up. Why? Because I'm being my number one cheerleader. All right. The client who is working on deserving, I said, forget all that. I said, just focus on making money. How much do you want to make? Eric, I want to make 10 grand a month. Okay, great. What are the actions of a human being that makes 10 grand a month? What are your price points? How many sales calls do you run? What's your mindset? See, the client is being, I don't deserve the money. I don't deserve it. So now I got to go and I got to work with a therapist, or I got to work with a counselor. I got to read the book. I'm not there yet. Someday I'll be there. I'm not there yet. Forget all that. Just be somebody who makes $10,000 a month. In other words, the client, I'm not saying this is right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm giving you an idea of how my client could snap her fingers and make 10 grand in the next 30 days. Because she's focusing on deserving. I'm not saying that's not a good idea, but that's just not how I look at it. I would focus on producing $10,000 a month. I would look at, what does that look like? What is the thought and language? And commit to producing $10,000 a month. And if she commits to producing $10,000 a month, then she'll make $10,000 a month. How are you using your mind? What problems are you telling your mind to solve? So that's today's message. My hope is something landed with you. My hope is you feel a little bit better than you did at the start of the call, or a lot better. My hope is you have a great, successful day today. My hope is that you're productive today. And we'll do it again next week. And I have one request. If you know somebody that could benefit from this call, would you either tag them in the comments, or would you bring it up in your next sales meeting, or the next time you see this person, would you tell them, or would you send them a text? Hey, there's this call every Friday that this gentleman, Eric Lofholm, does. Here's how you get, however you get on the call, you can tell them to get on the call in the same way. So I'd love it if we had a handful of more people next week, because it's somebody in your network that you invite. Thanks for joining me. You guys have a great rest of your day. We had a little group on Zoom. Thank you guys for being here on Zoom. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining us. Those of you on social media, we got 8 of you on social media. Thanks for being here on social media, guys. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you later.